Today, I want to talk to you about 3 EQ skills that Dr. Steven Stein, owner of MHS Incorporated, has scientifically studied to be correlated to the most profitable CEOs. He took a sample size of 76 of the most profitable CEOs and determined that there are 3 of the EQ skills in the EQI 2.0 model that they were high and balanced in. And I like to remember them by using the acronym ACE, like ACE your career performance or ACE your leadership. They're assertiveness, confidence, and empathy. And today I want to tell you a little bit about each and give you some tips about how you can build them up. Because to be a good leader, if you want to be a good leader, you have to know how to lead yourself. And then once you can lead yourself, you know how to lead others in a much better way. So the first one is assertiveness. And when I think of assertiveness, which means, of course, taking initiative, it also means in a negotiation that you want to achieve a win-win as much as possible, that you care about the other person accomplishing their goals as much as you care about you accomplishing yours. That's always the sweet spot between being passive aggressive or being too aggressive. So think of the word integrity. I use that idea of telling the truth, being honest, knowing my values, and wanting to have behavior in alignment with what you believe in and what you value. That will put you in good stead to be a transparent, lead by example, lead by authenticity type of leader. And if you don't know what your values are, there just go ahead and Google value systems or values, and you'll often come up with a list of values. And so an example might be some of my values are service, customer service, sacredness, of people's sovereignty, if you will. And I attempt to abide or hold my behavior to those 2 standards. Another one, so confidence is the other EQ skill. And for that, I like to think about worthiness, being worthy, being deserving, myself having value or yourself having value. And if you're having a struggle with where you have value, a very good exercise would be to write a list of the accomplishments that you've made over your career. It could even be in your personal life. I guess it doesn't even have to be in your career, really. But we are talking about profitable CEOs. So making a list of what you're most proud of, what you've accomplished, and noticing how you've grown, noticing how you've changed. You probably aren't the same person today that you were 5 years ago, or before the pandemic, or 10 years ago, or 15 years ago. And so when you think about where you are now versus where you were years ago, what are you most proud of? What have you accomplished that you can own and no one can take away from you? And how can you use those accomplishments to lift yourself up, have your self-worth so that you convey that to the people you lead? The last one, the third one, is empathy. And when I think about that EQ skill, I think about the word curiosity. Empathy helps us to understand other people, to put ourselves in someone else's shoes and see things from their point of view, and to be able to say, oh, I understand where you're coming from. I may not agree with it. However, I can understand how you see it the way you do see it. And so that can be very much emphasized by learning to listen. You can practice learning to listen attentively and very much focused, being in the present moment without any distractions. So putting your phone down, not multitasking if you're on a Zoom call, looking somebody straight in the eyes when you're talking to them and then when you're listening to them, and repeating back certain things they have said so that they know that you have indeed caught and understood what they're saying. So Dr. Steven Stein found out that These three skills, assertiveness, confidence, and empathy, when you work on those and focus on those and keep them as well balanced as possible, you are going to be the most effective leader that you can be. And if you think about that, these all work together. How assertive can you really be if you're not confident? How empathetic can you be if you're not confident in your own worthiness? If you feel less than worthy, that means you could be insecure. And if you're insecure, you may not be able to boost someone else up by catching them doing right and giving them uh, an attagirl or an attaboy the way they need to have it, so that you've motivated them to have them do their best. So just think about how these skills work together. And if you focus on these three things, you will definitely increase your leadership capabilities. And I promise you, you'll feel more clear, you'll feel more sturdy, you'll feel more grounded, you'll feel that your actions are in alignment with who you are as a person and what you value as a leader. And so you'll be happier.